On this episode of Abby Normal Garage, we have Abby in heat. No, what we're really doing is shooting part 2 of the box tractor, the 417 Revival. On this episode, we're going to pull the engine, pull the stock steering out. We're going to install our gear reduction steering, put the engine back in, and we might even get the hoses back in. Okay, so with Abby in the way, we're going to remove the, hey Abby, hey baby, I love you. Yes I do. I saw you in heat. Can the kid folks at home on the internet see it? No? Alright, so with Abby officially trying to get in the way, we're going to remove Abby. Pay attention now, Abby. Yeah. We're going to remove the 4 bolts that hold the engine pan on, and then we're just going to lift the whole thing off as an assembly. You got that? Alright. Oh my gosh. I tell you. With that out, we got 3 more to go. Alright, we'll remember that this one on this bolt back here. We might have to use 2 wrenches on the bolts on the other side. That front one's going to be even funner. Alright, that one nuts off of that one. Oh heck, I didn't think it came out that easy. Alright. There we go. I tell you what, I'm glad they came up with ratchet wrenches. I could only imagine what the world was like before. It was probably miserable. With that bolt removed, the engine should lift right up. Hold your head up. Wow, they look so empty with their engines off of them. Alright, so to remove the steering, we got to undo the tie rods, and then we got to undo these 2 bolts on the steering gear base. Alright, with this nut off this tie rod, should come off just like that. What do you think, Abby? Got our 2 bolts here removed. We got our tie rods disconnected. This thing should, in theory, lift and slide out. Come on. Minus this light for the headlight, this wire for the headlights. It should just, oh come on, just like that. There's the old steering gear. Got our block, sandblasted, painted. Got our reduction gear, which I just sandblasted because apparently I forgot to paint it. And we have our new steering shaft that's been sandblasted and painted. So it's been apart so long, I'm not 100% sure how it goes back together. But I do know this goes in like that. So I'm going to put some grease on this, you know, to kind of and I'm going to stick that in like so. And I do know that the pinion gear goes on this side. And I want to say that like that. Then it had this washer and this castle nut. Now, if I remember from memory, this wasn't tight. You set the gear lash of the steering shaft with this nut. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this loose until I get my upper steering in. And I do know this goes in there like that. So I'm going to put some grease on this. Just a light coating. Like I said, it's got grease fittings. I mean, we're just doing this for assembly's sake. Okay. And then this, I've got it here in this cup. Had a machine washer on this side and this cotter pin. Just like that. Look at that. It slid right in. We got to put the 2 back bolts in, and then we have to drill 2 holes for the front. So I'm going to put the 2 back bolts in first, and we'll go from there. Got to be careful of all this wiring. Success! Holes are drilled. So I dug around in my nuts and bolts box, and I was able to locate 2 beautiful stainless steel bolts left over from the trail horse. So that's installed. Now I guess we need to test fit our steering shaft to see what we need to do there. And just like I thought, this shaft is longer by a significant amount. And that's why we didn't paint it. So we're going to have to take that cotter pin out of that steering shaft bushing, and we slide that down until it fits the dash correctly, and we'll have to re-drill a hole. So we're going to slide our bushing up into our dash. And I put some extra shims on here in case I mess up. We'll take our marker and mark it. Drilling round objects, it's usually better to use a center part punch to make a dip where you want to drill. This is an automatic one. They're pretty handy. Alright, so how this goes together is this plastic piece slides over the shaft. Ironically, that part came off the trail horse. And the steering wheel just slides on like that. So as you can see, we got to cut off quite a bit to make that work. And my marker again. So it's day 2 of working on the box tractor. I put the engine back in off camera to save time. We're already at the 9-minute mark. Now we're going to take the seat and the fender off. We need to do this because 2 of the hydraulic hoses run under there. Take the seat off. Now we'll take the 4 bolts, hold the fender on. Fit around the gas cap. Nice. And we should have this plug to unplug. Oh, nice. All right. All right, so one of our hoses goes to that filter. Looks like we can get to that pretty easily. And the other hose runs to the bottom of the charge pump. So we'll have to remove this tire for that. But we should have. You will, pet me. You will. What? Ow. Ow, 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 ow. You're standing on my arm. You're standing on my arm. They'll never lay down with your dog. Why are you clawing at the camera? You don't want to be on camera? So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out which hose goes to which port on the valve. Thank goodness for Abby Normal Garage. I'm watching our video to see which hose goes where. The short hose goes in the front of the control and the long hose goes on the back. Man, that's great. We got new hoses from Wheel Horse Parts and More. Thank you, Lowell. We appreciate you. my wrench don't fit the new hoses. Have to get another wrench. Hold on. We'll use an open ender. Okay. That might have been the hard way of doing that. We'll first hook up this front one. It seems like it's going to be the easiest. Oh, okay. I see what you did there, Lowell. You got an adapter on there. Before we tighten anything down, this is just your standard JIC connection then. Let's go ahead and tighten up this nut. Let's see if moving this brake pedal helps out a little bit. I don't want to over tighten it. It is just an O-ring. Maybe we should put the engine. Maybe we shouldn't have put the engine on first. They are definitely a lot stiffer than the factory ones. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and slide the gas tank back. That'll make that easier. Oh, we really went above and beyond on that one. One of the bolts in the bottom of the gas tank wouldn't come out, so I had to unbolt it from the actual bracket itself. That's the pain in the butt way of doing it. But we got better access now, so let's go ahead and unhook this hose. I don't think this hose was leaking, but they come in a set of 4, so you might as well change them all. Yeah, I would say it's the shorter of the 2 hoses, so let's go ahead and we'll get it started. The new hose started. Alright, now it was really hard to get the proper clearance between the transmission and this to get this to go in, but once we unbolted every single thing, we were able to do it. So let's go ahead and tighten this up real quick, and then we'll route this. So there's that. Runs up under there and goes in through this hole. And I believe that one hooks up to the out port of the pump. So we'll go ahead and hook that up. Alrighty, well now that we got clear access to this hose goes here. We'll torque it down. I think this is a lot better hose than the stock ones. I don't know about the fittings, but this is the Wheel Horse 520 kit that Wheel Horse Parts and More sells. Okay. Now we only got one hose left to do. It runs down there under the transmission to the bottom of the charge pump. That one's going to be the hardest one, I think. We've already got all the other lugs off. We had a extremely long phone conversation, so let's go ahead and get this last one off and get this hose changed. And just like that, tire comes off. Okay, so the hardest part about this, it looks like, it's going to be getting the hose fed back through this little hole here. Oh, maybe not. Oh, there you go. Okay. Now it has to go back down that little hole next to the transmission. Come on. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And here comes the really fun part of getting this hose on this fitting. Oh, come on. Try to keep it unbound. Come on. Come on. Please get started. Please. Did I get it? Yeah, I think I got it actually. Woohoo! We might have done it. That's on. Beautiful. Let's hook it up with the control valve. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay, first things first. Gotta take that bolt out to remove this PTO brake. Looks like we're missing a screw for it. When we actually do the engine, we'll fix that. But for now, I just want to get it running. We'll probably just leave this off. Pull the PTO bell off. And the easiest way, I think, is going to be to pull this this clutch plate off. Wonder who's calling me. Ah, you gotta take both sides out. Hold on, let's get that. While he was on the phone, I got this clutch plate off. I put the anti-rattle spring on the. What do you think, Abby? You think it'll fit? I think it's gonna fit. Supposedly it's the right belt for this tractor. Slip it on under there. Slip it there. Oh yeah, it's the right one. Yep, that's it. Okay, now let's put this clutch plate back on. To do that, it's real easy. Put the bearing race on. clutch plate back on. Line up both holes. Put these metal pieces in the groove. Where's my little plate? Just like that. All right. Slide the bell back on. And this about concludes this episode of Abbey Normal Garage. We got our PTO on, we got our belt on. All the way back. Hi, Abby. We think this is the correct orientation of the anti-rattle spring. Nobody seems to know, and it's not even in the service manual. So on the next episode of Abbey Normal Garage, we'll bypass the safety switch for the PTO. We're not going to be using it anymore. Put the gas tank back in with a new fuel line. We'll get some fuel up to the engine and hopefully it'll start. Then we'll check for hydraulic leaks. If we don't have any hydraulic leaks, then we'll start on the restoration. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. Don't forget to share this video with your friends.